So first thing is I got to have Velociraptor working. Now this machine, I already put the agent on it. So if I open services, just make sure things look good here. If I open services, there should be a Velociraptor service running. And there it is. There is indeed a Velociraptor service running, so that's good. Now I'm running the Velociraptor host on my... Oh, I left it running. That's good. I'll just start it again so you can see it. I made a script to start it because I got tired of putting this, figuring out the command all the time, but I can cat it so you can see it. There, that's all it does. It starts Velociraptor. By the way, I had done this like a year ago in a different folder, and so I ended up trying to run a modern version of Velociraptor with an old config file, and you get a lot of bizarre error messages. So be aware of that. You cannot use a version 6 config file with a version 7 Velociraptor. I found that out the hard way. But anyway, this is all it does, so it'll run. And now it's listening on this address here for TLS3 GUI is ready on this address. So I can go here, and there it is on that address. Now if I go home, I see Velociraptor. If I view all clients, there it is, my Windows 11 client. So if I click that, I now see information about Windows 11 client. And if I click collected, I can now add new queries querying the client. So I'm ready to go. Now I need to infect the client with malware. This is just a simple batch script I wrote that does some things that malware would do, nothing very exotic, but it's enough that we can see those indicators of compromise. So I download this file called pup4. Which I don't see. I wonder if... wait, no, it's a zip file. These are folders. It's down here. There we are, pup4. I downloaded this zip file, so I right-click, extract files, extract all, extract, and of course it has a password. This is how you'd handle malware. Malware is the password, but that way nobody can run it by accident. That's the idea. So now I have a folder with stuff in it. All right, and now, okay, here's how we're going to infect the machine. I've already, let me verify. This is another thing students would want to know. How do you disable Windows Defender? You search for virus. Go to virus and threat protection. And then go to manage settings. And you can turn off real-time protection. That's nice. But the most important thing is to make an exclusion of the C drive. And that you have here, exclusions. And I don't know why it doesn't show the existing exclusions here. That seems to be some kind of defect in this ARM-based version of Windows 11. But there you see, it is there. It has an exclusion. C shell bind is there. The whole C drive should be excluded. Let me do that. Folder. C:/. \. There, now the whole C drive is excluded from virus scanning, so that'll avoid it catching me. Now to install the pup. I see, oops, I hit the wrong key press. It could be Control+. There we are. To install the pup, right-click, extract all, run pup4 as administrator, move the message to the root of C. So let's do that. So I run pup4.exe as administrator, okay. Run as administrator, and then I have to approve all this, more info, and run anyway. And then, yes. All right, so that's the first thing. Then this pup4 message has to move to the root of C. So that's there. All right. All right. And then I think delete everything. Delete pup4.zip in the pup4 folder. Okay. So, oops, got to go here. Okay, so delete the pup4 folder and the pup4 zip file. Looks like they've hidden the delete option, but it's there. Okay, good. And then empty the recycle bin, so it is closer to being really gone. no longer an active file, no longer in the master file table, although you could recover it with an anti-delete forensic utility. All right, so now the machine is infected with this stuff, and here's what it does. A few attack techniques it's using. Whoops, I keep hitting the wrong key press inside a Windows machine. All right, so we're going to investigate this. So now what happens is an irritating message should pop up. I may have to restart the machine, huh? You have to restart the machine, okay, because then the irritating message will pop up. So this is intended to simulate a typical PUP, which is a relatively minor infection you'd get in a browser that pops up ads in the browser, that kind of thing. Not doing a lot of harm on the machine, but it automatically restarts and irritates you. They call them PUPs for potentially unwanted programs, because they're not exactly viruses, and by the way, they're not exactly illegal. Typically in the terms of service, it said, you're downloading this program and you agree in return to have irritating ads all over your screen forever. And therefore, when you put them in antivirus engines, they will sue the antivirus company and say, take us out of there, we're not a virus. The user wants this, they agreed to it. So anyway.
So many computers, they ought to
like the gator, dancing alligator thing, and all these.
All the screensavers.
Yep. So anyway, this thing on a restart should pop up an irritating message in the fullness of time. Okay, good. There we are, irritating things running, and one of them should pop up a box. There it is. Your machine is pwned by Double Bad. Okay, so that's the kind of irritating message you get. So this is, you have a complaint, this thing has appeared, therefore this is regarded as an indicator of compromise. It looks like something's wrong with my machine. So now you want to say you're investigating this from a remote location, because somewhere in your enterprise somebody has an irritating message. So all you know is it popped up this box. So the first thing we're going to do is connect to the client, and then we're going to look. Now, one thing we know about that message is it automatically pops up every time you reboot. That means it's an auto run. So the first thing you do is run auto runs. This is a sysinternal utility that finds things that are automatically running on Windows. Windows sysinternals auto runs. So we'll see if it'll run on this Mac OS X. We're going to see some of these don't like to run on OS X, but some will. I mean, some will run on the ARM processor, and some won't. We'll see how it goes. So it's running this. You can click here, and you can look at the log to see what happens. Starting query execution, running external command auto runs. Okay, it's running it. It shouldn't take very long to run. And it should give me all the things that are automatically launching on that machine. So we'll see. All Velociraptor scripts are limited to some limited amount of time, so they won't take too long. Okay, waiting for rows. This is good. This means it's getting data. Oh, good. I think it's done. Yeah, it's done. I got the check mark. And here's the results. Okay, here's all the things that are automatically launching. So let's run the auto runs. Okay. It's going to find 1,341 things auto-launching when I did it before. That's the problem with Windows. There's way too many things. So what we're going to do is download it as a CSV file for further analysis. So here, it'll tell me someplace how many of these there are. 1,364 rows. So that's irritating. So I'll download a CSV file, and now I can open that in like a spreadsheet or something. And now that I've done that, I think I can search for some words that were in the original data, which I think we search for the run key used to launch PUP4 message. That's rude. I thought I would find... All right, I don't quite know how you're going to find it here, although I think you might be able to do it. Yeah, category, description, and company. There, this is important. The company shows you who signed it. And unsigned malware is suspicious, and you're going to find a lot of, not very much of it is unsigned. So the first thing to do would be to just sort this. And so I should be able to go to arrange, show my to sort in this crazy thing. Table, organize, there we are, organize, sort. Okay, I want to sort entire table by company. There we go. Okay, and now you can see these are all signed by somebody, so that's not too exciting. So if I go down, here's the unsigned ones, are just the last page or two. So that helps narrow it down. And now I can look and see, say, I got to make it bigger. Format. Oh, here's Zoom. Okay. All right. So I go to company. Oh, what's all this garbage? There's company. That's category. Description. Signer. Okay, signer and company. That's what I want. So, all right. These are things that are signed by somebody. So here's various unsigned things, and hopefully I can spot something suspicious about these. Here's the, these are service hosts, Sysmon itself, and there's the one called pup4 message. So it looks kind of suspicious. It's running right from the root of C, which is a weird place to run. It's not a signed file. It's not a known system utility. So you can see this looks kind of suspicious. So now you have a hypothesis that this is what's making that message pop up, but you haven't proven it. Now you have a suspect. So you can get the MD5 of it from PSList. This is going to be much more direct. This will show you the running processes. So PSList. Windows System PSList. I don't think I need, do I want any parameters? I could, but I guess I won't. I guess let's get them all. Okay. I'll just launch it. This will show me all the running processes. Okay, and there they are. Here's a system process, SMSS, CRSS, WinInit. Now I know it's called pup. So if I do Control F, and look for pup4 message. It's not found there, but again, that's probably because I've got more than what's going to fit on one page. You have 158 here. If I could probably just show 50 at a time, and then it'll only be 2 or 3 pages, so it might be easier to search for pup. No matches here. So if I go to the next page, okay. And now search for pup again. Okay, I'll try a third page, and then maybe I'll have to download it or something stupid. Now I got the match. Okay, on the third page, there it is. Pup. So now I've proven this thing that looked suspicious is in fact running right now. But I don't really know that it's what's causing the box to pop up. So I'm making some progress in my investigation, but now I'm going to find out what that's in there by downloading its process memory, which I thought is pretty amazing. And I wasn't able to do this before in Velociraptor version 7. I'm going to try it again, but it may fail. This was fun, but it didn't seem to work right. So let's try process dump. We'll see if it's working in the latest version of Velociraptor. Windows memory process dump, configure parameters, process regex would be pup. I want processes with pup in the name, should be good enough. All right, let's see if that works. And that's all I really need, so launch, and we'll see if it runs or not. So there it is, here's the log. Okay, starting execution, Windows memory, collection, query stats, results. It says I have a dump file, uploaded files, here's my dump file. If I click that, it should download that file, and there it is. I think it's working. Now, I want to examine it in strings, which I can do just on my Mac. It's built in, I think. So let's see if that works. There's my file. Let me get rid of this and go here. Okay, so I have downloaded the file. Therefore, it'll be in my downloads folder called DMP something. So let's have a command prompt. cd downloads, dir dmp star, ls dmp star on Linux. There it is. There's a DMP file, and let's see which one it is. It is 3188, okay? So that one there, okay? So I can do strings minus EL on dump 3 there. Okay, it doesn't like the EL, and this is an issue, which may give us a problem. On Linux, it's EL to C 16-byte Unicode, which is Microsoft's way of doing it. Now, this is the Mac, so let's try man strings and see if there's a way to get Unicode. And it looks like there isn't, so that's annoying. I'm going to use hex edit. It's probably how I would do this. It's a Mac free hex utility, which is useful for irritating things like this. There's my dump file. I can just open it with a raw hex viewer, which is what you do when you get tired of messing around with things. All right, now I'm going to search for a string, and I know in Microsoft language, I think I can do a search. Now, I think I'm going to look for pup, right? Let me go back to my instructions. Once I can do this, I'm going to try and find your computer is owned by Double Bad. This is the message. So, pwned is a pretty good word to search for. So let's search for Control F. I want to find P, a hex. Okay. Let's do text and find a capital P for starters. Just enter to search. All right, there's a P, so P is 50. Okay, let's find a W. Okay, 50 and 57. Now I know what I'm doing. I want to find 50, 00, 57, 00. That's what PW will look like in Microsoft Unicode. And there we are, is pwned. So I found the messages that come from this, and if I search for that again, your machine is pwned. You know, this is what proves that this malware is definitely the cause of the pop-up message. So I found the executable that is running to make the pop-up message, so this is progress. So now I want to find out what other files on the machine are part of the attack, and I'm going to look for the word pwned in all these files. Yara is just a fancy version of grep. I don't know why people make a big deal out of it. Yara just looks for a pattern of bytes in files, and it runs on all different operating systems. So we can run a Yara search on Windows. Windows search Yara, which is here. Okay, now configure parameters. And here's where you say what type of file, and I'm going to do EXEs, and with this, with pwned, strings pwned, and wide means those 16-bit characters. I know it's in Microsoft 16-bit encoding, so it's going to be pwned, and I don't need to worry about this. I just want it in wide. So these would be other things that are presumably part of the attack, and I only care about EXEs, not these others. So I'll get rid of that. Okay, so now it's going to scan the entire box, look at every EXE, and look inside there for that string. So it's kind of a big job. That's why it's a pretty good idea to limit your search. So like just EXEs or just in certain folders or something. But it won't take too long. And we can look in the log. There it goes. Directly scanning these files, snipping tools, screen sketch, all these things. It's finding all the EXEs on the box, of which there are a ton, and scanning each one of them with Yara, which, like I say, is essentially grep. All right. So it will find it. It should take about 1 minute, it says. We're going to see. And then you'll find C pup4 message is the only file that has that in it, which means there are no other files that are part of the infection still in the box. Now, you know that because I deleted them, but you don't know that that would happen in a real case. So this is what you do. You find an indicator of compromise, then you search for that indicator of compromise in a wide area. That's how you track down the pieces of an attack. So it's still going. And there, it found this one. There, it's done. And that was the only thing it found, was PUP4 message. So that means there aren't other files that are obviously part of it. So now we can do remediation. And remediation is just these 3 commands that have to be done, which do task delete the registry key, which, by the way, I didn't mention. The registry key was in the original search for auto runs. It showed you this thing is running from the run key. So you know how to make it stop running, is to delete the registry key. And so this deletes the executable. This kills the currently running task that is showing the box, and this deletes the registry key that makes it automatically launch, and that's it. Now, it'd be nice to launch these from within Velociraptor, but when I tried it before, they didn't work from within Velociraptor. They might have improved this. Velociraptor has had some arguments inside the development community of whether you want to allow this. Because if you allow me to run arbitrary commands as system on the host, then Velociraptor is effectively malware. It's giving you remote control of the host. So in order, some people think you shouldn't be able to do that, and so there are some limitations on what you can do. Anyway, at the top left, you click the down arrow, show all GUI, and all right, click the shell button at the top right. So it should be here. Let me make my window narrower so I can see the top right. Right. So is that the shell button? Click there. They click that, and now there's a shell button. Okay, now I can execute things in various shells. I'll use a CMD shell. And by the way, you see who I am. Who am I? And launch it. And the answer is here. I'm NT Authority System, which is more powerful than the administrator. That's why you could argue that maybe I shouldn't have the power to run arbitrary commands here. But anyway, there's the command I'd like to do task kill. So I run that, and no response. So I'm not sure if it worked or not. We can tell by looking on the box. It did not work. It did not kill this task. That's what I thought. You cannot really clean it remotely because they've limited the ability of that shell. All right. So that's what I found before, and I just sort of wondered if they would have changed it. But all right. Anyway, all the flags work, including the one I said might not work. That seemed to work now. So there you go. And remediation, you just have to do these on the box yourself to clean it off. So I'm going to stop this recording.